Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm so excited to film today's video. I am holding our sweet baby boy. His name is Ezra and he is almost 2 weeks now. And today was supposed to be his due date. He decided to come a bit early and I'm so happy about it. And we've been spending some time together now. I'm just gonna show you my belly. So this is where we're at 10 days after. So it was very interesting what happened. So it was on a Sunday, which was, I was 38 weeks and this happened. I wake up in the morning around 7:30 and I notice dripping. Some water is dripping and some fluids. I wasn't sure, is it my waters? Is it something else? Or what is it? I thought it was my water. But I was like, nah, it cannot be because I haven't lost my mucus plug yet. So it couldn't. And a few seconds later, not even a minute, I get my first contraction. And it really hit. And I was 100% sure it is a contraction, even though it's my first baby, because it was intense and it lasted like about 40 seconds, something like that. I haven't timed that one. And then another one came. In the meantime, I've opened my app and started timing those. And my contractions started 5 minutes apart and they lasted about 50 seconds. And some would be 40 seconds, some would be 60 seconds. My husband had to be at church to set up the sound system and everything, and I told him, just go, it's the first baby, we have enough time, so you go. And he went and I was at home laboring because in contraction after contraction after contraction after contraction. I decided to call the hospital and tell them about the fluid because I was like, if I'm constantly leaking, I was dripping bit by bit, and if it's the amniotic fluid, then I should be seen by a doctor at this point. So I called them just to confirm, should I come in or shouldn't? And they said for sure, if you believe your water has broken, then definitely you must come in. I text my husband and say, hey, come home, we need to go to the hospital. We go to the hospital. Contraction after contraction after contraction. It never stopped. They were like anywhere like 3-4 minutes apart, 5 minutes apart, then again 3 minutes apart, and so on. They would vary, but they would last longer than a minute now. A minute and 20 seconds, anywhere there. We get to the hospital and they check me, they check the fluid and they confirm it's the fluid. And I have to stay in the hospital because of this. And they sent me to a room, not a labor room, so my husband couldn't be there, but because it was during visiting hours, he was allowed to, which was really nice. It was midday at this point, so I was admitted at 12:30. We get in the room, but I get contraction after contraction, and there is a nurse there. She was so sweet. And she's like, you know what, this is not how it's supposed to be. Even they checked and I was at 1 centimeter, and that's why they sent me upstairs. And she's like, but this is active labor. You're like, you never get a break. So I'm gonna send you downstairs to see. At the point where I went back downstairs, they checked me again and I was still 1 centimeter. However, everything else had been progressing. So my cervix had disappeared. Other things have happened there. And they said, I'm going to stay downstairs in the delivery room. My husband was able to stay and I was so happy about it. It wasn't long after, when I think about an hour afterwards, they still wanted to check to see if things progress or if I need some help to be inducted because of my water being broken. They needed things to progress. When they next checked me, I was almost 5 centimeters in less than an hour, which was crazy. And the contractions were more and more intense. And during this time, in this hour, they went from 3 to 5 minutes apart to 1 minute apart, and they would last about 2 minutes to 3 minutes. And that's how it's been until the end. I had just 1 minute break in between, and they would last like 3 minutes, 2 to 3 minutes. And it was really, really intense. And most, like the contraction would start from the back, so it was a back labor, but I would feel the pressure in front, and the pressure was insane. Even the midwife, she was just constantly checking the monitors and the screens and saw how strong contractions were. I was dilated 5 for a very long time. I cannot remember exactly how long. And then when they next checked, I was already 8, and then I stopped at 8 for a very long time, and then the next time I was at 10. By the time I was at 10, I knew I was at 10 because I felt the need and the urge to push, but they wouldn't let me because Ezra was not in the right position. He was not descendant completely into the pelvis, and this would have been really, really bad for me, and it could cause stress for him as well. So they said don't push, and I did not push for 1 hour. I was just focusing on the breathing part, which was excruciating. And because they needed to progress faster, they gave me some, I think, potassium or something. I'm not sure. I don't want to make a mistake. They gave me a medication to give me stronger contractions, even stronger, and to have them come even more close together, so Ezra can come down. It would work, but I just couldn't wait longer. So I said, I need to push. And at this point, my midwife, she was a godsend, Valentina. She was the best. We're gonna try and let's work with gravity. Did some squatting and some things like that. And I started pushing, practicing pushing, but to help him come down. And he surely did. And half an hour later, Ezra was born on the world. I did tell her, don't touch my baby. I want to catch my baby. I told my husband, I want to catch my baby. I want to see if it's a boy or a girl. I want to be the first to know. And they pushed on my all fours. When he came, like, I caught him and I just looked at him and I told everyone, and I got him and I said, it's Ezra and it's a boy. He came at exactly 3 kilos and 16 grams. He was very, very tiny. From the moment that I got my first contraction till he was born, it's been 22 hours, so over 22 hours. And yeah, he was born at 5:20 in the morning. I did get a little bit of tearing, not much, when I was trying to position him to help him descend. It was internal. I have some stitches, but everything is fine. And we went home the next day. We were kept in the hospital because they found a little bit of infection in my blood, and at that time I couldn't remember. I have a little bit of infection here. It's not a big deal. It couldn't be fixed during pregnancy because I needed scans. Yeah, they kept me so they can check the next day, but at the same time, because I had gestational diabetes, they needed to check his sugar levels every few hours, and they did it for like 6 times, and he's perfectly fine and healthy. And Ezra is the sweetest baby boy in the world. I must say, he sleeps very, very well. He doesn't really cry. He's not fussy at all. I hope he stays this way, but so far, we don't even know we have a baby. Just we have to set alarms to feed him. We're so happy to be at this place, and I'm really excited to be able to share the story with you. I was asked, like, wouldn't have you wished it was a girl? I was like, what girl? It's Ezra. It's not like I wouldn't want a girl. I was really happy either way. What's really interesting, and I don't think I mentioned, 2 nights before, I had a dream, and I had a dream that I have a boy, and I was changing the diaper, and I knew it was a boy, and that's just surreal. And a boy it was. And I'm so excited for this new chapter. If you enjoyed this video, please give us a thumbs up, and you can share it with your friends or whatever, and consider subscribing if you haven't already. And yeah, I'll see you in my next one. Bye.